to re-record this audio before because when I did this one, it was summertime and I only had the very large AC fan in my window, which I had to sit right next to because it was the only space I have. That's changed. So hopefully this is a little bit better audio. R&L Langernickel paints, the gouache paints, I was not able to find any pigment information. They said that they are, ASEAN certified, but who knows what that means. That's not really a certification. You can go to their website, look up pigment information, but and how they blend those, we do not know. So I decided to adjust my scale a bit on this, and I moved some of the where I put it kind of placement. So Magic Flies is dropped a little bit lower at this point. And Zenicolor at the 0. So you haven't seen the Zenicolor painting yet. That'll be coming in a later video. I've been using Zenicolor for my gouache class instead, along with the R&L Langernickel, and I'm slowly integrating Magic Fly as I run out of the Zenicolors. So, in comparison, R&L Langernickel are a pleasure to work with, but I thought I'd do my own painting. I'm only doing 4 of these, and then I'm going to change up the paint type. I was going to do the same painting each time, and that's not really what I'm going to do now. But this is going to be the same as the Magic Fly one, and I'll put up a card so that you can see that. Same paper, though. Still using the Canson mixed media paper. And I did a little bit different on the wash. I did the wash beforehand this time. So I'm getting my colors ready here with starting with Lamp Black. And that'll take a moment. So let me just stop here and you can enjoy me squirting out the paint. Much better consistency than the previous ones. It leaks a little bit, separates a little bit, but it comes out in a nice consistency. You don't have to do that. I'm starting with Prussian blue here with they have a nice dark blue with Prussian blue. Same pigments or similar pigments should be in this as, the color from Joy of Painting fame. It's hard, again, I don't know. So every paint set comes with a different set of colors, and you should at least have a primary set that you can mix from. Unfortunately, as you've seen with some of the swatches, the pigments aren't always straightforward, and so mixing cannot be as great. The R&L Langernickel here, though, while it does cover it, does end up a bit streaky. As you've probably seen in previous paintings where I've used it in some of the gouache classes. Again, I'll put up a card for that. Here it's really transparent, which is not really what I was expecting, but yeah. So I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit. You can enjoy the music and watch me paint, and I'll come back if I have some more comments. Well, it dries very well, and besides being streaky, opacity is really a problem. So I am doing a couple things here, mixing white, and I'm adding my gunk formula, which is basically a set of extenders that I've mixed together. I've used for years and years with miniature painting, but it helps keep. I can always do a video on my gunk if you'd like to know about. But it's a little bottle of stuff that extends the life of the paint. But I like it. You have to be careful. You don't want to add too much. It does change the consistency of paint if you add too much. But I've used it with acrylics for years, and even some watercolor stuff that I've done. But yeah, you can see here the opacity is a problem with these. They're really light, and I'm gonna have to mix more into it. It does dry fast, but not as fast as I would like here. Talk about these brushes. I got these brushes for which class? I think it was with this gouache class that I've been taking. And at first I didn't really want to use them. I didn't think I was going to like them as much. They're Wong brushes from Korea, I believe. I've not been able to find out where else I could get them. They came with that class. I have a set of flats. I would love to see if I could find some pointed, some filberts, some other brush shapes, as well as a place to just source them, because they're really great brushes. But as I use them more and more, they become some of my favorite brushes, and so I'm being very careful with them because I love them a lot. So I kind of went in and worked up the mountains and the sky a little bit more. I'm adding more brown, but started lifting up the old brown. So I need to let that dry a little bit more. Start working on this guy. See how it goes. So some things, it mixes, this R&L Langernickel mixes really well. You're given a good selection of colors in the 24 set. 4 blues, 5 greens, really green heavy, 4 reds, 2 oranges, 3 yellows, a purple, only 2 browns, 2 whites. It's quite a lot of selection. So sorry I didn't have it on for that part, but I'm gonna keep painting here. And what else did I say? I said it really does mix really well. You do need a lot of layers. You're using up a lot of paint. So I don't expect this set to last me that long, but we'll see. Kind of gone in and made these hills a bit darker. I'm gonna put some more dark highlight shadows in there. Dark highlights, shadows. I mean shadows. And work on these hills too, but I need to let them dry a bit. I've kind of made the sky more stormy. So we'll see here. So we work on this guy. I was trying this. I actually haven't used this brush before. This is the brush that came with my R&L Gouache one, and it's kind of trash. It's so flimsy. I don't know. I don't like that one. I wanted a smaller one. Let's try this one. And I wasn't that impressed when I first swatched with it or in the blue test, but painting with it in comparison to the Langernickel, it's been great. So I'm expecting high things as I move on to the other ones. Yeah. because my current idea is that, okay, so I'm going to I moved the Magic Fly down to 2. Center color is a solid 0 because the Magic Fly is so far above that, even though there are issues. And I have this Royal Langernickel at about 3 is how I feel about it. But it doesn't feel like a struggle. I'm having some issues with the layer, not with layering, but more the opacity. So they're not as opaque as I would personally like. But instead of black, I'm going with the darker brown here. I keep blending in as I make different browns. I'll get to some trees soon. It looks like flowers in the back because I left the blue bleed through. Let's see if we can take some time with that. Little brushes. I don't think I'm ever going to get over having to cover up pieces that I like. Like, I'm spending a lot of time in the background and there's a little bit where I can go back, but as I cover up pieces, like, that scares me. That scares me so much. Like, what if I completely screw that up? I have completely screwed that up in the past. So, this kind of thing scares me. Okay, so I'm recording this a bit later. I am so sorry. The audio in this video has been complete trash. I was sitting in front of the air conditioner, which was really the only spot I had in the place. And so I'm recording this a lot later. So I'm going to talk about what I did here and what I like and what I didn't like about the paint. The R&L Langernickel paint was miles above Langernickel and Magic Fly, and I was able to get much better flow control. But I still had a lot of problems. While it mixes really well, the pigments used in these paints, sorry, of course, try to do this, and I might have to, the pug. The pigments in these paints they muddied really quickly, so I had to be kind of careful with that. I also kind of screwed up and covered too much of what I'd done behind. I did get a little bit more depth than I had in the other ones. I know I haven't posted the Langernickel one yet because I've been dreading going through how much footage. This painting took me several days to do. Over about 10 hours, and it had some issues. As I started to get into more detail and try to get finer lines, that became really difficult with the R&L Langernickel. The flow control, that's where it kind of broke down. And that, for me, getting the right consistency for it to flow right when I'm trying to get it to stay and cover was very hard. I got to a point where I decided to stop, even though the highlighting really isn't there. The details really aren't there in this. I like how the mountains turned out, but as I was trying to layer and get lighter and lighter green, the lighter and lighter brown, I just wasn't achieving it. I was using too much paint, and I felt like I was just wasting my time. So I think I'm going to stop here with this one. Here I am trying to pull this tape off. This washi tape stuck really badly to this paper and ripped it, which is always a worry with the washi tape. You can see too that it really leaves kind of a flaky mess behind the R&L Langernickel when you pull that tape off. So you want to be really careful with the painting and everything like that. Make sure it doesn't bend or break because your paint will break off. And that's consistent with how gouache usually behaves. For the people who paint with it for later photography, where this is not the finished product, they talk about it a lot, how it doesn't have a lot of flexibility, so you need to be careful. Which, that is what it is. I mean, I like the matte finish that it has. The R&L Langernickel also took a longer time to dry, so that was also kind of an issue. A gouache is supposed to be a fast dry medium, so I talked about my gunk, which I used a little bit in here, but not so much as you'd think. I was having a lot harder time with drying times later when I wasn't using gunk and just using flat paint because I was trying to layer it, and I didn't want to thin it out. So overall, this is currently on the 3 scale. Next time, I think the next one of these is the Magic Fly. I'm probably going to bite down and edit that video, but I'm sorry that the video has been taking so long here to get up. Lots has been going on in life, and it's been kind of difficult, and I needed to take a stepway break and not think about it for a little bit. So I am still publishing videos. I'm starting to get some shorts up, so please check those out. And once I fix my webpage, because I literally just broke it, you should see my schedule up there, and hopefully I'll start streaming again soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below what you would like to see, or questions you have, or comments. Tell me what I did wrong. I know I'm still learning, and I really thank you for joining me on this journey.